My next guest, the woman I'm in love with. Woo! She's going to teach us all about private lending, how to get the money, how to give the money, how to create the life that you're looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, Vanessa Johnson.
To our girls, 5 million and 40 naughty shorty. Baby girl, all my girls, Chanda Paul say, well, I'm on the way, the time.
Hey everyone. How lucky are we to be here, seriously? How fucking cool is this event, right? There's been some amazing strategy on this stage today, some really heartfelt people. I loved the panel share, like everybody's so aligned with let's do this together. And there's a lot today, right? And I wanna ask you guys, honestly, is anybody a little bit overwhelmed? A little bit? Yeah, because it's okay. There's a lot, and I totally get it. And it's okay to be overwhelmed. But what I wanna say to you is, it is not okay to leave here tonight and still believe that this is not for you. If you go home tonight and let the same stories take over of, I'm too busy, I don't understand, I don't have any money, I don't know where to start, then you're only going to rise to the level of success that you've decided you deserve. Because we all set the thermostat for how much success, happiness, wealth, and love we get to have. And we live our lives from that setting, whether we know it or not. And we usually don't know it. And so my invitation for everyone here is to just start listening to what goes on between your ears when you're introduced to something new and big and confusing or, just overwhelming. And I want you to hear it as what it really is. It's fear. It's not the truth, right? Don't believe everything you think. And I think that was echoed beautifully on the panel here today. All right, so real estate. I brought you guys today the most actionable, accessible part of my business that I could bring to you, something that every single person here can do today. You don't need to know how to put together deals. You don't need to know how to read blueprints. Anyone can do it. Hi. So we're gonna rip through some slides. I'm gonna introduce myself properly, and we're gonna talk about how private lending can change everything for you, just like it did for me. Okay, we're getting through this. I'm Vanessa Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Visionary Ventures, a real estate investing company. I'm on target to purchase 50 properties this year. Thank you. Thanks. I left my 9-to-5 in accounting last April of 2024. In our first year, we did 24 properties. This year, we'll do 50. Thanks. I've raised over $6 million in private capital in the last 15 months as a beginner, because I don't come from real estate, and I don't come from wealth, and I definitely don't come from success. Also a wealth and mindset coach, which I was gonna switch to leadership coach because I feel like that's more of what's happening lately. I'm also a member of the Ronkonkoma Rotary. If you don't know what that is, it is a group of amazing human beings doing amazing things for humans. It's a humanitarian group. They're amazing. Come check them out. I am the mother of one beautiful, amazing daughter, Mia. Where is she? Is she still in the back? She hyped me up backstage. I love her. She's also leaving me for college in a couple weeks, so we're not gonna talk about that today. And guys, I'm a high school dropout. I am one of 5 kids. I was raised in a house with addiction, violence, chaos, eviction, and in 10th grade, I decided that survival was more important to me than algebra. So I moved out, and I didn't have a car because I was 16, so I didn't even have a license. And I was walking to work so that I could make money to pay rent, to live in the apartment that I had to live in, because I couldn't be back home. And I did that for about 2 years until I got hired for a job that I wasn't supposed to get because I didn't have my diploma. And the manager of the bank said to me, I'm gonna give you this job, but you're gonna promise me that you're gonna go back to school and go to college because you're too smart to be a high school dropout. So I did. And I didn't have the words for it then, but I recognize today that I took a step in a radically different direction, and I created a completely different experience for myself in my life. And I had to learn that lesson like 7,000 more times in my life, but I'm grateful, right? So I got my GED, and I went to college. I went for accounting, worked my way through some great jobs, bookkeeping, office managing, corporate controller, climbed the ladder. The job I left in April, I was the CFO for a company that did about $20 million in revenue a year. And I had the title, I had the paycheck, I had the bank account, but I didn't have wealth, I didn't have assets, I didn't have a legacy. And most importantly, I didn't have anyone to bridge that gap for me until I met Peter. Does everybody know Peter? Everyone knows him? Yes? He's the loudest person in this room. He's also the most passionate person in this room, generous person in this room. We're all here today because of Peter's heart. This is his passion project. He also got me to give him $100,000 in less than 60 days of dating him, so he's the most charming person in this room, no doubt. And so that's how we started in real estate. It was a private lend. I had $50,000 in a money market account earning 3%, and that monthly is like 0.025. And I had a $50,000 indexed universal life cash value. So while I was making payments towards a life insurance policy and building up $1 million death benefit, I was also building up a cash value in that account. I was able to borrow that money to myself and lend it to Peter for a higher interest rate. And in 6 months, after giving him $100,000, we were still together, so yeah. And he gave me $6,000. And I was like, holy shit, why doesn't anybody know about this? I was in accounting for 20 years. No one ever mentioned the words private lending to me before. No one ever told me that I could lend money and earn passive income without having to change my life, swing a hammer, put a deal together, right? So I did what I often do. I hired a coach. I joined a mastermind, and I learned properly how to secure, insure, and protect private lenders. And I was still at my 9-to-5. I was hiding in my truck on Zooms on my lunch break. I was making phone calls in the bathroom, like connecting people with Peter who wanted the opportunity to earn double-digit returns on their money. And I actually thought that was gonna be my business. I started a little LLC, and I'm like, I'll just raise capital and make money. I just posted something the other day. A 20-minute phone call made me a $3,000 referral fee just by stalking people out on LinkedIn and just putting myself in places where I've never been before and getting really cringy on the internet, just telling people what I do. I raise capital. I provide opportunity to earn double-digit returns. And it worked. And then I quit my job 6 months later and started flipping and wholesaling, but that's a psychotic story for a different day. We'll go to the next slide. So what is private lending? It's so simple. It's when people lend their money to investors for an interest return. Next slide. Oh, thank you. You're doing it? Cool. Why lend? Guys, passive income. Everybody says passive income, rentals are passive income. Rentals are passive income until you have to unclog someone's toilet at 10 o'clock at night. This is actually passive income. You don't need any real estate experience. Your money is collateralized below market value, and what that means, I probably should have simplified that term. It just means that the real estate that's backing your lend is below market value. So you actually have equity in your backing, which is kind of amazing. The returns are really high. The rates are fixed, backed by a real asset. Short-term notes, long-term relationships. Why do we love private money? I can close quickly on every deal. I don't have to wait for bank approvals. Love you, Sal. This is a different thing. Instant equity. I can make competitive offers. I can buy non-conforming properties, and what that means is I can buy properties that have mold. I can buy properties that have bad plumbing. I can buy properties that have a tree in the roof, like we did. I can buy as many properties as my acquisitions team can get because I'm not waiting on anybody to tell me yes. I'm ready to go. And my most favorite part, guys, I get to write big checks to our lenders. I don't want to give my interest payments to the CFO of Bank of America so he can ride around in a fucking helicopter. I want my friends to get a pool. I want my friends to pay for their daughter's wedding, right? Next slide. Here's all the applications for private lending. I know it was said in here earlier, there's so many things we can do because it's ours and we can be creative. So we're not waiting for any institutions to tell us yes, we get to just go. So fix and flips, multifamilies, deposits, gap filling. You could be an equity partner or a capital partner. Rentals, commercial deals, finder fees. That's when I was working the 9 to 5, just on the phone with people, putting people together and making a fee. Next. The top 10 sources, 401k. The numbers 401k are actually an IRS tax code. 401ks were not created for your retirement. They were created as a tax shelter for high-earning executives. And it was like back in the 80s when companies realized, like, remember there used to be something called pensions? Probably a lot of people don't even know what that is anymore because they phased out when companies recognized that they could pass all the liability onto the employee by using the 401k. And it's bullshit. Self-directed IRA. An IRA is an individual retirement account. Self-directing it just means you get to decide where you want to put your money. Home equity lines of credit, I love this. There's a lender in this room of ours, I'm not gonna say who, I'm gonna make him famous if I do. He had a $400,000 in equity in his house. Pulled it out, lent it to us. 12% at $400,000, you guys, in 6 months was 24 grand. And when the project is over and he decides to take that 124 grand and put it back in, now he's compounding, and over the spread of 12 months, he's gonna make over $50,000 passively. Like, how many people want $50,000 for not having to drive to the city one more time, not having to drip one extra drop of sweat, not having to miss a baseball game or a dance recital? $50,000 more from equity that was sitting in your house doing nothing. It's crazy. Hi. Trust funds, if you have one, great, lend it. Personal savings and business lines of credit, we utilize these too. Inherited funds, life insurance and HSAs. I was just saying before, my life insurance policy, I've used it as a tool. There's a term called infinite banking. I actually bought an F-150 with my life insurance policy. I borrowed the money from myself at 4%. I set up a payment plan as if I was paying TD America or whatever bank at 8%, and I just paid myself. So I was able to use my own money to lend it and just, continue that flow. So I lent Pete the 50 grand, I got it back, I put the money back, and I kept the interest. Business and personal credit cards, we actually do have an investor friend who leverages someone else's credit cards that they were able to get at 0%. So she takes her credit card at 0, lends it to an investor at 10, and he uses her credit cards to buy materials for flips. Right? Like, it's so good what we can do because we can be creative. We control it. Not the institutions, not the banks. CDs, bonds, and stocks. We have another lender in this room who was earning a CD at 5%. And I love to tell you this because I was able to have her pull it out and more than double it. So now her money's working at 12%. And we're compounding because every time we finish a project, she just throws it all back in. So it's really, really powerful tools. Next, please. Thank you, sir. So I Googled, what do banks do with your money? They take your money and make loans to other people. So your bank account's getting 1%, they're loaning it to somebody else for 12. So be the bank, right? Silly. Next, sir. Thank you. Here's a little propaganda about 401ks that I like to share. In 2022, they dropped 20% in average. That's $30,000 of your retirement that's gone. Nobody insured it. No one protected it. Nobody promised you were getting anything. That's gone. It's not coming back. Next. This is John Bogle. He's the founder of Vanguard, one of the world's largest mutual funds. He's quoted in this article as saying, maybe a 5% return will be possible. Maybe. They call it 8.5%, but after all the administrative fees and the bullshit that comes out of your money that you don't even know is happening, maybe 5%. Great. And also, these accounts often underperform inflation, which means your money is dying. Next slide, please. Thank you. So let's do a little comparative. So your 401ks and whatever are playing in the stock market and mutual funds. The stock market is completely uninsured. It's unsecured. No one's telling you what you're getting back. You're buying in at market price. Your returns are unknown, and you have no control. Versus private lending, fully insured. We buy an insurance policy, and we name the lender the loss payee. We secure it by real property. You get a mortgage, so you become the bank. The mortgage is in your name. It's your asset. Something happens, you foreclose, it's yours. We're collateralizing below market value. The returns are fixed. You know what you're getting. You know what the timeline looks like. And it's predictable and completely passive. Like, there's just no comparison here for any of this, right? Next. Do you want me to say it? Okay. So just a reiteration, it's secured, insured, and protected. The value of the dollar continues to go down as inflation rises. My point of this slide is just to show you that if your money is not in a place that's at least keeping up with inflation, it's dying. It's not doing anything for you. Next, please. And so the process for private lending is super simple. We do all the work. The investors do everything. I've got some great marketing. I've got a great team. We are sitting in the living rooms having conversations with distressed sellers. We're locking up properties left and right. I'll send the numbers and the timeline to a lender. They'll take a look at it. Oh, you need 300 grand for 6 months? Okay, no problem. They'll send the wire. We have everything drawn up with attorneys, promissory note, lien, etc. We take their funds, we buy the home, we renovate it, we sell it. I'll call you up and go, yo, you want your money back? You just made 30 grand. 9 times out of 10, they're like, no, put it back, right? But that's just the process. You lend it, I buy it, renovate it, sell it, it's yours. Now you get it back. And speaking of compound interest, this slide is so cool, and I hope you guys can see it. This is called the Rule of 72. Essentially, this is a mathematical calculation that tells you how long it takes to double your money at specific returns. So for the accountant in me, I must show this to you because it's just so cool. At 1%, it's going to take you 72 years to double your money. At 4%, 18 years. 6%, 12, 10%, 7.5. And what I wanted to really look at is, look at the 29 years old, right? In the first column. Look at when you're 65 years old at 4%, you're only at 40 grand. 65 years old at 6%, you're at 80 grand. 65 years old at 10%, you're at $320,000 because you've compounded that interest. You keep putting that interest payment back into your investment, and it grows exponentially. And sometimes we offer 12, just saying. Next slide, please. So here's a case study of a property that we did, just to exemplify the difference between your money in the bank versus your money with a lend. We borrowed $150,000. In 5 months, we gave the money back at 10%. That person earned $5,500. If that was sitting in a traditional savings account at 1.2, they would have earned $661. My daughter had me do the math. It's 775% increase in return. Like, boom, right? It's wild. So I hope that you guys can see that this is accessible to every single person in this room. I didn't come from real estate. I had no experience. I literally stalked people on LinkedIn, got on Instagram, just started talking about what I do, built a community of people. I have a crazy spreadsheet. There are so many of our lenders in this room right now. Guys, I have their money backed by real estate. They are making money sitting in this room listening to me speak, right? Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys so much. But my point of this is just, you can be the lender, you can be the borrower, or you can be somebody that connects everyone. And so the importance of the people in this room today, it's like, look to the left of you and look to the right of you. Everybody's here because everybody wants to grow. Everybody is interested in gaining something for their family. Everybody's here to learn about taking one step further towards something that they can see as possible for their dream. And so this is it. This is our community. This is where we can do deals. This is where we can connect. This is where we can all grow together. Right? I think that's the end. Any more? Oh, yeah. All my contact info, hit me up with any questions. We brought someone here today, Bill. He's our expert in insurance policies, if you want to learn about the infinite banking process. I'll also connect you with Ryan. He's our trusted resource for self-directing IRAs. You can hit him up. That's just a link to his calendar to book a call. I took the slide down of join our Facebook community, but join our Facebook community. Yeah, that's it. And this doesn't work. All right.
Hello, everybody. I don't. Thank you. So.